In this lesson, I'm going to talk to you guys today about how to create different lighting setups using things that you're going to have around in your house. There's a couple things I want you to keep in mind. Thing number one is don't overthink the object that you're taking right now. That's not the point. The point is to find something that has a somewhat neutral color to it. Now this is just a white bottle of laundry detergent with the labels taken off. And the reason why it works being very neutral is that the light really does show where the highlights and shadows are. Lighting is so critical to shaping how things, especially three-dimensional things, look in your photographs. So this being our unit on properties of light, we're going to take a regular lamp. Now, I'm choosing this one because most people have a lamp like this in their house, and I'm going to take the lampshade off. I want to have a direct light source so that my shadows are very distinct when I light my subject. Now, it does not make sense that the shadows are going to be more intense the farther away the bulb is from the object, but that's actually how it works. The farther away you put this bulb from the object that you're photographing, the more direct the light waves are going to be when they hit it, so you're going to get very distinct shadows. So I don't want to hold my light up like this. I want to actually move it back. Now it's less bright, but it's actually, the shadows are going to be more intense. The other thing I'm going to have to do is shut off my light in the other parts of the room so that I have a single light source that's lighting this object. And I'm going to do that right now. Now, looking at this, I've changed the lighting in the room, and you can actually see the strong sense of shadow that's happening on the right-hand side of that bottle. Now, I just have to move my camera into a position where it's going to be an interesting composition. I'm going to go for simplicity here. I'm not going to try to overcomplicate myself by having a very complex lighting set, a complex composition. I'm going to try to move in and show my subject and fill the frame with it, but at the same time leave room for the shadows that are lining up here so that you can see what happens to them in the frame. So to do this, what I'm going to do is open up Lightroom Mobile. I'm going to go ahead and go to my camera. I'm going to make sure that I set this to black and white. Now I kind of like the high contrast black and white for this prompt. And again, I'm going to position myself in a way where I can see both the subject and the shadows and what happens to them. I'm going to leave some room on the table and above the table so that I can see and watch what happens to that shadow as I move the light. And as I do that, I will record by snapping the picture. So this represents side light. The light is hitting the subject from the side, and you see the shadow moving off to the right. I'm going to take that picture. This, as I move it around, is front light. The shadows are right in front of the subject, behind my camera, and you'll notice that you don't see any shadows because they're cast behind. As I move this above, I start getting top light. I get light from above the object shining straight down. You'll notice the shadow is a straight orb or a circle of a shadow underneath the subject. As I come back here, this starts to become backlight. You'll notice that the subject is lit from behind, and you'll see the shadow casting forward. Now I can further emphasize this by moving that light source all the way behind. Now right now my light source is in the way, so what I would do is I would go in Lightroom and I would hit the 3 little dots and set a timer for 5 seconds. and then I'm going to hit the button, and it gives me 5 seconds to move out of the way behind the subject as I take that picture. Now I can come back here and I can check it and see how that looked. Now you see me behind the subject, but I could do a better job if I had a little bit more time. Now I'm going to turn the timer off and I'm going to continue. This is 3/4 light. You'll notice that the shadow is cast on a 45-degree angle on the subject behind. I can do it on the other side as well. This project is very simple if you just take the time to set up a situation, have a simple object, and a simple direct light source. Now I'm going to try an underneath light. Now I might need to move my subject closer, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my camera back. The reason what I'm doing is I'm moving the subject sort of to the edge of the table, and this gives the effect of something similar to when you tell scary stories at night by a campfire and you put a flashlight underneath your face. That's kind of what happens there. So that's it. This is a very simple, I actually really like this lighting here, so I'm going to take this picture as well. This is a very simple prompt, but what it's designed to do is to get you thinking about lighting, how lighting shapes an object, how it changes over that object over time, and how you can use simple lamps, flashlights, or desk lamps in your house to create lighting effects shooting small objects like I did here.